What is going on, movie meals? Movie meals.
Whew.
WandaVision after show. Here we are, episode 3. Um, Before we get into it, guys, look at this merch. Ooh, doggy! I also have. I wore it for 2 days straight, so it's in the dirty hamper. But I got the Thanks for Watching Bomb T-shirt. Love the quality. Love the design Kyle came up with. I love it. I got my mom and I matching pair for Mother's Day, since obviously she's the inspiration for that kind of joke we've been playing with. But
Yeah.
guys, the merch is awesome. It's all linked in the description. Go check it out. Thank you to our patrons, Stephen, Kimberly. You guys are awesome. We flashed above here. If you're not a part of the Patreon, please go join it. We're gonna add some new tiers, drop things early. I think we're gonna start doing, so watch out for some new things coming over there. And join us. It would really mean a lot. But WandaVision episode 3, we're in color now. This episode was a play on the Brady Bunch. They had the Brady Bunch
Yes.
intro, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if you enjoyed it. I liked this episode quite a bit. As we kind of continue with kind of this idea, and we get spoilers, guys. I don't know why you're here if you haven't watched it. Spoilers for this like 32-minute episode, but we get a little more teases. I was right. Remember, I said I thought it was a bubble, and we got
Yeah.
a bubble. We got an
got a bubble.
annihilation bubble. I was right, and it was not necessarily what I was thinking, because I was thinking her mind was going real cuckoo. But it seems like she has built like a world in this bubble, and that she is physically in there herself. I always thought maybe this might be in her mind, even with the bubble idea, but it looks like it is physically her in there. And
Hmm.
everything else is a creation, and it looks like we have actors in there. So I just jumped right to the big reveal. But Kyle, I guess, what do you think of the first episode as a whole? Some people are not loving this show. Some people really like this show. We both were in the same page with the first 2 episodes, if I remember correctly. We both
Yeah.
really dug them. What do you think
Yeah.
of this episode as a whole here?
I'm still on the same page. I'm still digging this show and this concept. And I will agree with you first on the Brady Bunch homages. I mean, did I say that word right? I don't even know if I did. Anyway, homage, something like that. I said it right. It's fine. But I mean, right away in the first scene, like the first scene is what, like a close up of the doctor, but you can kind of see like some of the background and some of the set design right behind him. Immediately, I was like, that looks like the Brady Bunch stairs. And then it pans back out, and
Yeah,
I'm like, holy crap, it looks exactly like the Brady Bunch house. Like
I
it's
like that the house changed. I liked it a
yeah,
lot.
it's just crazy how I think more and more intricate like these sets are becoming. Like it looks like exactly they're recreating the sets from these old shows, and you just have to give props to these designers for doing such a great job with it. Like it doesn't feel cheap at all. And I mean, they have the money to make it not cheap, but even still, they could, be just call it good like halfway through. But they really go above and beyond on making those sets like as realistic and as close to like those original shows as possible. And I guess we'll jump right into what you were saying about the bubble. Yeah, it looks like at least it seems like it's a bubble that Wanda has created to make this physical alternate universe of like her wanting like the perfect life once their superhero ness has been finished and Vision is alive in this version. So yeah, I think that it is starting to become clear that it's in her mind, but who knows? Maybe they'll throw something at us in the next episode to where, oh, it's not a bubble at all. It's something else. But yeah, I was very curious by that reveal, but there was quite a bit of other reveals that they had towards the tail end of the show. I think that put a lot of things into question.
Yeah, I thought the episode was funny. I loved the homage, the intro to this. You're right. The sets are awesome. You wonder if they like go to, I don't remember what network has Brady Bunch, but you wonder if there's got to be an old set somewhere, like pieces of that are still there. And if they found it and was like, hey, can we use this? I love that they're
Yeah.
doing that. I thought the humor again really works for what is going on.
Yeah.
I love the kind of episodic take they're doing with the old sitcom, which is funny because like I tend to not like those in superhero shows. Like some of the CW shows, I got kind of tired of the episode of the kind of weekly feel. But
Yeah.
for this, I really am digging it. I love the bigger picture that we get. So I didn't realize till after that the pregnancy of her having twins is a comic thing. So and
Yeah.
that the names Billy and Tommy are their mutant babies, correct? And what are their
Yeah.
powers? Do you know?
Oh, I imagine they're the similar. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but I imagine they're similar to what Wanda's were. Although I know in House of M anyway, like those babies died, I believe. I'm trying to remember
Really?
now. So
Like
maybe,
as
yeah,
babies?
I believe so. Yeah.
So
I'm
you
trying to
think
remember
that
though. It's been a while, but I
so
don't
then
think they'll go. I don't think they're gonna go that far. Like
so
obviously
would
the babies
you
aren't real, but they're not gonna be like dead.
well now here's the thing though. Her her power is from the mind stone or the reality stone.
Reality Stone, right? Because Mind Stone is visions, I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they not the Vision as the Tesseract, I thought. Didn't they break the
No.
Tesseract to make Vision? No,
Wait, did they?
he has the Mind Stone.
These stones are
Which one
so
was in the
confusing.
staff? Isn't her power from the staff, right? Loki's
I'll look it
staff?
up. I'll look up all the stones now because I can't remember.
Well, yeah, I think you
After a
might just want
while,
to
it
look
just
out.
became it just didn't matter.
I think the way to look at it is Wanda Maximoff powers from the MCU, I think is the way to get there. Um because I'm curious because I think the babies if she has the power, I think she could manifest them to be real. Like
I won't be
like I
shocked if
think
they are
she's
real in the next
powerful
episode.
enough to do that where like if when this ends that she actually had those two kids and it would make sense then that they have her powers and not like, you know, however Vision has powers. Um but if they, you know, if the babies are real and they kill them, it could be kind of a unique storyline. Obviously, it sounds kind of harsh, but it would be kind of unique to go that route because the theory right now online is that these two are going to be part of this young Avengers crew that they're starting to build with Tom Holland. There's this fan narrative that Tom Holland is going to be part of a new young Avengers and that they're going to get like a young crew together and that these two will be part of that. And I've seen some fans speculate that it's because they were born so quickly that they'll age quickly until their powers manifest, and then their aging will stop because they'll be able to stop it from being rapid. Um, I don't know about young Avengers getting all these young kids in. Like I like the idea of Kate Bishop. You don't get Haley Steinfeld in the Hawkeye without her being elite. But I want Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. I mean, Brie is younger, but I want that. I want Anthony Mackie and Winter Soldier. I want them to be part of the next Avengers crew. So I think it's just getting who you got back. Like I don't see Doctor Strange not being a part of the Avengers moving forward because they want to go with a young Avengers, unless they branch off and do like two separate movies. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be game if they went with a Young Avengers like Teen Titans style movie, and if they went with like legit young kids without Spidey, and they got like a young new band. I think that would be cool for like their own kind of movie, and they just kind of as a team where they're not very good, you know. And if Billy and Tommy are part of that, if they're not, you know, they're not as strong as an adult Avenger would be. Them going off and fighting one villain together, I think would be cool. But I like your idea of or the thought of the House of M stuff. I think that would be kind of cool.
Well, I mean, I just think of it in the aspect that these two twins aren't going to manifest into something being real. Like, I don't think like this show is going to kill them
Yeah,
off necessarily, but because they're not real, they're just
they
gonna,
kill them off. Yeah,
yeah,
in
you
a
know what I
way,
mean?
I
Like
get what
it's,
I do. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, which I think I would. I don't mean to say like I would like that. I just mean to say like I think that'd be a good uh it'd be something at least to make this character in Wanda Maximoff to give a little bit more than just being like a side character, which is what I want to see from this show. Like I want Wanda to like kind of grow as a character more. So maybe that could
Yeah.
be a way to grow her some. I don't know. I mean, this is all just speculation. Right now, like they literally just were born, and it led to like Wanda actually giving a shout out to Pietro to Quicksilver, which I was like,
And
oh, finally, about time.
yes.
Like,
And what did you think of that? Because I really liked the moment because not only like we've made fun of forever how her accent wasn't very good in Ultron, and it wasn't. And she has grown as an actress. I mean, years of playing a character as you grow. Um,
mhm.
but I thought the delivery and her suddenly going back to her accent was actually really good. I didn't think the accent was bad. I mean, it's a short line, so you only have to perfect that compared to every line in a movie. But
Yeah,
I really liked that moment, and I want to know more. Whoever this actress lady is, so it looks
true.
like
Yeah.
they're all actors from Sword, is what this looks like because we got the sword symbol more. Um, we didn't talk about it last episode, but I noticed it when they did like the recap that the sword symbol was on the helicopter.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't notice it the first time, but I like that she broke her character and was like, "Well, didn't your brother die from fighting Ultron?" And she says, "What?" And it makes me think that Nightmare might not be as involved right now. And maybe Nightmare is the villain in Doctor Strange that they'll be partners with. Um, but I like that it's kind of like it does feel like she's gone cuckoo and she decided to build her world and the government is now studying that, and she's been in there like we don't know how long she's been in there. We've only seen 3 episodes of whatever world she's making. Like how many episodes was she in there for? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? um so it would be interesting if she's been doing it for a while and they have sent actors in to slowly infiltrate because that's how deep in her mind she is. um then again, what did you think of like when she flew out, the government like swarmed her with like guns blazed. Like it didn't seem friendly, like we got to get our girl out. So what did you kind of think of that moment?
Yeah, that character's name is Monica, I believe. I'm looking at the cast list now. I believe that character's name is Monica. I'm kind of leaning towards that she is a government spy, kind of like within Sword. I could see that being a big possibility. Although, like the question that you just asked about, why were they aiming the guns at her? Maybe it's out of precaution and it's to throw the
They just
audience for
don't
a
know what
loop.
flew out. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it, and then they realized it was one of their own. So, with Monica's like revealing, like she knows about Ultron, she knows about Quicksilver. Like it makes me think like she is, and seeing the reveal of her shooting out and the government coming after her, it makes me think that she is like a government agent of Sword, which I think could be pretty interesting. And it makes me think that my theory about Catherine Hahn being Nightmare might not be correct. I think Catherine Hahn and the other guy's name, I forget his name now, but they could also be Sword agents. So pretty
Yeah.
much they're actors in this scenario that
It
one
could
has
be
played out.
the other way around too, though, with the way they were talking, where maybe it is Nightmare that is causing this bubble for her and her to go deep in her head, and Sword is trying to pull her out of it, which is why we're
Yeah.
getting the radio things. And maybe that's why Catherine Hahn is like, she's not from around here, like
hmm
she's cuckoo. Like maybe it is Nightmare, and it's her saying to Wanda's subconscious, like, you like being here, she's
Yeah.
not from here, you should get rid of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that Sword is actually actively trying to pull her out, and
hmm
Nightmare is trying to keep her in. So
That
I
could
don't
be
think your
it.
theory is dead yet, but
All right, I'll give it
it
another
is
chance.
it's leaning towards that, right? And maybe it's misdirection, maybe it's
Yeah.
Kevin Feige pulling some misdirection. But
I
sorry
appreciate all
to
the misdirection.
I do too. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this show, man. I
Yeah.
am liking it. What do you think of the fan speculation about everybody being not? There's a lot of people who think it's lacking a lot, and to me, it's the vibe I've gotten is the same I've heard from Mandalorian. I want what I want, and I want it now. Is the vibe I'm getting? Where it's how does this connect to the MCU? I want more. I'm tired of the slow burn. I want episode 7 now. Like that's what I've been seeing. What do you think about all that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think it's just people being a bit impatient. Now, if if it's the case where hey, they gave the show a shot, but for whatever reason it's just not working for them, that's one thing. But most of that type of complaining kind of makes me feel like it's a lack of patience. Now, who knows? Maybe this show could end and we could come back here saying like, boy, that did not work. That ended up sucking. But for now, I'm in it for the ride. I enjoy and appreciate all of the tricks that they're kind of pulling and all of the slow burns that's happening within this show. It's a lot different than, from what we've seen from most Marvel movies and even some of the Netflix shows. It's a bit different than that. So I've been appreciating so far. I've been enjoying what it is.
I have too, and I kind of, in a weird way, it's nice that this is the first thing since Endgame. I know we were supposed to get Black Widow, and it's a prequel, but
Yeah.
it's so different. And the big question after Endgame is, what do you do next? And
Yeah.
then the next thing was, oh, we're going to do a prequel story about, Natasha Romanoff and her family, which works, but it's kind of like this is so different. It's kind of refreshing that we're getting something so unique, and I'm enjoying it. And I like the TV format. I want episode by episode because we get to theorize.
Hmm.
I don't really have theories for next episode outside of what we just talked about with Nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm curious what kind of show they're going to play off of next. I wonder if we're going to finally get that Halloween episode that we were supposed to be getting here soon.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
maybe.
but do you have any, or should we wrap up?
I'm wondering uh, because of the Pietro name drop, I keep going back to that. I'm wondering if they're going to pull something off and have Aaron Taylor Johnson
I hope so.
return as that character. I was at like 10% that it might happen. Now I'm at like 15% that it will happen. But
I'll take a
even still,
fat
though, I
30.
just appreciate that they acknowledge that. And it made sense in the moment because she gave birth to twins and her twin brother died years ago, like tragically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he got
it was a
shot
good
a
moment.
billion times after saving Hawkeye. Um,
Yeah.
and a child. I agree with you. I really liked the moment because every time we've criticized MCU, one of the small things, it's like, man, they're so good at callbacks, but I wish they would do something more with Ultron. They drop his name here and there, which makes sense. He was a big bad, but
Yeah.
like never got anything for Quicksilver, and I think everybody has felt that he deserved more and hasn't gotten it. And I liked the
Yeah.
name drop. I liked the Pietro name drop, saying she had a brother, she is a twin, and then it being responded, well, he was killed by Ultron. That's a tragic moment for her, and we don't see it as much.
Bit
And
triggering.
yeah, and we didn't see it a whole lot. We saw her more emotional in the movie's sense about like the Accords and the fact that people blame her, um, and less about her brother. So it was a cool moment to see that. And
For sure.
bravo to Kevin and the writers. Anything
Mhm.
else, or should we call it?
No, I think in general, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are doing a great job. I like this show so far, and I hope that it pays off towards the end. But we just got to be patient. I think it'll work itself out. It'll be good.
I agree. I think it's going to be a good show, and I think when you go back and binge it, it'll work really well. And I'm excited to go back and binge it once it's
Yeah,
finished.
yeah,
And I might even wait and do it right before going to see uh, Doctor Strange 2. Might be the time to really re-binge
true.
it.
Yeah,
All right, guys, for our after show, there you are. There's our review of the episode. Remember, thank you again to our patrons. Go get our merch. All links in the description. Go check out all the other great shows we got on. We got a Godzilla first Kong trailer up. Another Happy Landing dropped on Saturday. Kyle and I are ramping things up, so please go. Thank you for all the support. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
see you guys.
Whoo, under the